Hello everyone, so today I'm going to be making a quick video on what coins I think are going to perform well this upcoming week. Keep in mind these are short-term trade predictions and it does not have to play out the way I predict. I'll just give my best guess and explanation of which coins I think are going to go up and why. Remember to not copy the trades. It's just only meant to understand the context and understanding of why I chose these coins. So the way I'm gonna structure this video is I'm gonna go over what I think the market's going to do, then review the last week's pick and what to improve on, and then make predictions for this week's upcoming trade. So let's get started. So given the pop that we had this past week, I do think that Bitcoin has bottomed out, and I think more or less we're just gonna steadily climb up from here. So there'll be days where Bitcoin is gonna be down. There's gonna be days where Bitcoin is gonna be up. But I do think overall we're gonna trend up. I think at this moment in time, I don't see Bitcoin pulling back majorly in any way up until the point to around 55,000, 54 or 55,000. So for the time being, I do think that maybe we might go down, maybe we might go up, but just more or less jiggle our way up to this point. So for me, I'm not worried about any sort of major pullback until we get near this point in time. So given that I do think that per each individual day, Bitcoin is going to slowly rise, I think a lot of alts are also going to slowly rise. So that's what I think the general market is going to do. So let's just review last week's trade. Last week's trade, it was 3 coins: FET, Jasmy, and WCFG. So let's just review FET first. So FET, I did mention that there was a possibility that FET could hit 50 cents, but unlikely. But I did mention that it was gonna hit 38 cents and it was gonna hit 41 cents. In FET's particular case, I think we more or less are still gonna go up. We just didn't finish it in the time that we allocated it for. So it's instead of 1 week, one of the improvements is that it could be 1 week and a half. So I do think FET is likely to hit 50 cents this upcoming week, although there is a red median line here. So there's a high probability we might get rejected here, and we're gonna go up for the first part of this week and then get rejected here and go up. That's my general sentiment. So I wouldn't put too much stake on FET for this upcoming week. So I wouldn't think FET. I don't think FET is a good play this upcoming week, although it does have a little bit room to go up. The next choice we have is Jasmy. Jasmy did not perform. So although if we didn't make money on Jasmy, we didn't lose money. We didn't lose money in Jasmy essentially. And the same with CFG. CFG didn't go up, but we didn't lose money. So these were the prediction prices, and CFG didn't hit it either. So now let's move on to which coins I think are going to perform well this upcoming week. So for the time being, I do think that Bitcoin is going to more or less slowly climb up, and for me that would indicate that 30% is likely the target, and 60% is maybe going to be an overshoot this upcoming week. So remember that in general, coins usually like to get stopped at 30, 60, or 100%. Given that that's the case, a lot of coins have already started moving up quite a lot. So the way I'm viewing this upcoming week is any coins that have not yet popped. So if I went through this list right through Coinbase, go ahead and go through this list, right? Notice how like most of these coins have popped somewhat, right? Like just go ahead and just take a look at this part here and just look at the sort of like the past week. Quite a bit of coins have popped. So just slowly going down this list would reveal that, right? So now if we go through this list, we just look at the coins who have popped the least, and chances are they're likely to pop this upcoming week, right? So the theory is that if you've already popped, you're not likely to pop again this week. If you get what I'm saying. A lot of these coins like to behave similarly to each other, and coins that haven't had a chance to catch up, I do think that those coins are likely to make those major moves today. So let's take a look, right? Let's take a look at the sort of the overall market right now. There's half split, right? Half of them are green, half of them are red. And if we look at Bitcoin right now, let's see. So Bitcoin has moved up. It has done a negative 1%. So my idea, noting this, right? Bitcoin has dropped -1% for today, right? It tells me that, Jasmine is green and CFG is green. So instinctually, my guess is that it's more or less around those Jasmine and CFG's time to make some sort of a move, since it's moving against what Bitcoin is doing right now. So I do think that although Jasmine and CFG did move last week, like this past week, I do think that they're likely to move this week. And like, keep in mind, these are short-term predictions, right? So they don't have to move in the way I predict. For all I know, this can go down. But noting that these two are moving against Bitcoin right now tells me that very likely this is probably the floor. I wouldn't, but again, if it breaks down even more, I wouldn't be surprised. But I do think that it's worth the bet, right? It's like, because like if Bitcoin's going up, then chances are these alts are, no one's really selling, because everyone's like, oh, crypto's going up, Bitcoin's going up, why am I selling my Jasmine, or why am I selling my CFG? So I do think that Jasmine and CFG is going to perform well. I think realistically this time, the only thing you can more or less gamble for is just at 30%. I wouldn't gamble anything more than at 30%. So in that scenario, I would say like 0.5, right? If you just move this a little bit, because the market usually likes to round down, right? So either 0.5 or 0.6 for Jasmine. And so in this situation, I'd be like, I would, just buy Jasmine, get out at 0.6 or 0.5, or at the end of the week. And the same thing with CFG, just a simple 30%. Does that mean that CFG and Jasmine can't go higher than that? Of course not. It can always go higher. But usually in this scenario, it just, since Bitcoin is going up slowly, to be safe, get in, get out at 30%. And just look at the red and green, blue ichimoku. These are the settings for it. So 20, 60, 120, 30 for the ichimoku. And then it will show you the blue and red median line. Notice how like the blue median line here is respected. So my assumption is that Jasmine is gonna more or less want to hit this blue median line, and that would be a good place to sell. So if you buy now and you sell, but remember, don't copy the trades. It's just trying to understand the concept. So the same thing is for CFG. So if we do from bottom to the top, right, notice that it's not quite 30%, right? So my assumption is that we can aim for something higher than past the blue median line. So the next stop would be the red median line. So I do think that we're very, very likely to see CFG and Jasmine do at least a 30% move this upcoming week. So 0.75, 75 cents. That's a likely point that people would sell at. It's the same thing for Jasmine. 0.5 would be a price to sell at, or 0.06 would be a place to sell at. So I do think these two are the best. Notice, these other ones are also contenders, but you can tell, right? These two are the outliers, and everyone is not. So I would just more or less focus on these two for this upcoming week. So yeah, hopefully you guys found this video helpful. You guys did. Remember to comment down below what risk you took today. I always read all the comments, and it helps all of us move forward in our lives. You guys take care, okay?